I'm standing here on Ponce de Leon Avenue, and I guess you would say that my origin was really about 20 feet off this street, right down the street there in an apartment building. My father was in the Army during World War II. I was born in '44, and he was on leave, and my aunt lent my mother and father the apartment for the night to enjoy themselves, and that's when I was conceived. And so I was conceived right off Ponce de Leon Avenue, and I moved to very near Ponce de Leon, just one block off of Ponce de Leon Avenue, on the Blue Ridge Avenue, in around 1975, which is where I still live. And so I really started getting to know the street well then, and going in all the different kinds of establishments, because there's so many different places, and back then even more of just all types of people. You know, as the waitress in my book on Ponce de Leon said, you know, you got everybody from hookers and winos to president of banks coming in here. And so I got to know the street real well. And then it occurred to me one day that there was not another 3-mile stretch in Atlanta, you know, Ponce de Leon from Moreland and Briarcliff at one end to Peachtree at the other, that has such a variety of people and places. And so that's what attracted me to doing that book, and also knowing that so many people who are native Atlantans or live here for any period of time or moved here. A lot of people, when they move here, they end up here. You know, we're familiar with Ponce de Leon Avenue, part of the lore of the city. And so I decided that I'd do a book of photographs and edit interviews with the people and places along the street. I remember the first picture I took for Ponce de Leon was I always have my cameras set, the speed and everything, before I start work on a project. And I was doing that at a little place right off Ponce de Leon. A little dumpy place, but this guy was good. And a young woman, young blonde, kind of wander in, get a coat, walk back out, and when I came out with the cameras, I looked and I saw that she was sitting on a wall there at a little grocery store. And so I figured that she was a streetwalker. And so I asked if I could take her picture. And she says, you know, you gotta hurry, because I gotta go to jail this afternoon if I don't get some money by 3 o'clock. And so that was Rhonda. And so that ended up just being, by coincidence, the first picture of the book. So then I went to it and just would, you know, walk up and down the street, figuring out what I wanted to get. There were certain establishments, of course, Plaza Drugs, the ones that are, Merrimack's still there, Ray Lee's Blue Lantern Lounge, which was a very famous old-time working-class honky-tonk, as was the Starlight Lounge, as was the White Dot. There were 3 of those. And then, you know, they had more upscale restaurants too that I wanted to be sure to include. So one end from the other. And a place where my grandmother used to go and get live chickens, and you know, you could choose your chicken. That was still there then. It's not there now. Guy up here who'd sell flowers every day, stick them between his legs, saying that's how he attract customers. So a lot of people you just run into on the street, homeless people, People collecting cans. They don't seem to do that as much as they used to recycle for very little money. And I wanted to get people who lived here, different types of people, straight people, gay people, black people, white people, Italians, Oriental folks, like over here. It's not there anymore, Mr. Song, to get all kinds of folks in the book, and I believe I succeeded. So right now we're standing in front of, right here, the original site of the Plaza Drugs. That's why I made this my cover shot, a nighttime shot. And well, it's daytime, so now we can see it better, and you can see that, you know, some of it's still there. Some of the original building is still there. That old, I forget, what do you call that style? But this is what it used to look like. And this was Atlanta's very first shopping center. With this being the main store, this theater has been here for years and years, meaning the first group of stores with off-street parking. And this is what it looked like on the inside then, where there were all kinds of people. That's the soda fountain where I loved it. The best slaw dogs on the face of the earth were right there in Plaza Drugs soda fountain. Big soda fountain. All kinds of folks ate there, all kinds of people shopped there. And, you know, one of the changes is, of course, the gentrification of the area. And, you know, it's mostly people that got money that are going in this store, of course, because they're selling clothes. It was a drugstore for a while under a couple of different chains, and then it was food places, you know, where you go in and buy different foods and eat and everything, which is kind of nice. But then this has really taken us a long way. Chain clothing store. This is what it used to look like at night out front of the drugstore. This is a couple of the homeless people, or winos, or whatever you want to call, with Salvation Army person trying to convert them. There's this young woman was a medical doctor. I found out later, you know, coming into the drugstore. Doesn't look like a doctor, but she was. Every Sunday evening, around 6 o'clock, in the summer, of course, it'd be daylight. In the winter, it'd be dark. Salvation Army band would be out here playing, facing the drugstore, and singing religious songs, and then going up and talking to some of the people, like we saw here. I believe those times are past, but it was a time I enjoyed. I enjoyed just coming up here with my daughter and seeing all the different kind of folks. When she was a little baby, putting her on my back, coming up here. So it's too bad it's gone, but as things change, it's still a lively corner here, though. Where I'm looking around at the different types of people I'm seeing right now. Some street people, some well-to-do folks, church people. Still got a good mix of folks on Ponce de Leon.